never say it out loud. But carry everything inside anyway. Pressure, responsibility, silence, and what the world calls strength is often just endurance in disguise. This is what he feels when no one is looking. She sees him standing steady, but knows he's overfilled. A man who keeps on moving while something in him still. He smiles like nothing's heavy, but she can hear the strain in every quiet moment where he never speaks his pain. And he's learned how to function without ever letting go. But even steady hearts can crack when no one truly knows. Iron and blue, that's what she sees in him. A man who keeps on carrying everything within. Iron and blue, still trying to hold his place, while silence slowly writes itself across his tired face. Yeah, she sees it in his eyes. All the things he hides, but I still standing tall. But feeling small. She notices the distance when he says he's doing fine. The way he changes subject every single time. And every late night silence tells a truth he won't confess, that being strong for everyone has left him more distressed. And she wonders how long he can hold before the weight he carries turns his silence into stone. Iron and blue, that's what she hears inside. A man who never learned that he was allowed to cry. Iron and blue, still trying to be while hiding how exhaustion has quietly built him up. Dior Amoria. He doesn't say it, but she can feel it. The pressure, the exhaustion, the silence he wears like armor. She understands what he never plans. He's only human. She sees the weight he carries that nobody else can see. A man who built his strength on responsibility. And maybe what he needed wasn't more to hold inside, but someone who could see him and let him stop to hurt. Iron and blue, that's what she knows he feels. A strength that never falters, but never truly heals. Iron and blue, and now she finally sees even the strongest men were never meant to bleed unseen. Dior Amoria, she sees him now, lost somehow. Let him be whole. Even silence has a voice. Even silence. They call him strong, but they don't see what it costs. Every expectation, every responsibility, every silent burden adds weight to a crown. No one ever asked if he could carry. She watches how he rises every time he falls behind, like giving up was never something built into his mind. He leads without complaining, he provides without complaint, but no one ever notices what that kind of life creates. Because leadership looks noble, but feels like sacrifice, when every day demands more than what he gives of life. Heavy is the crown that he never sets down, even when nobody's watching, even when he's breaking down. Heavy is the crown, and she can see it now. A man who keeps on standing while the world keeps asking how. Yeah. Too much weight, never gets a break, but I still holds the line. Every expectation adds another layer deep, till even in his stillness he forgets how to sleep. But she can hear the silence screaming underneath his breath. A man who's still surviving, but slowly worn to less. And maybe kings were never meant to rule in isolation. Even iron needs relief. release from endless obligation. Heavy is the crown, and she finally understands that even strong foundations need gentle hands. Heavy is the crown, but he doesn't have to break. Maybe even kings deserve space to lay it down and wake. Dior Amoria, she sees him now. Let him bow. She used to look strength meant, never needing help, but watching him, she realizes something different. Even the strongest men need grace to stay human. She sees the way he carries what nobody ever sees, the pressure of being solid while quietly on his knees. And every time he breaks a little, he hides it with a smile, like needing understanding is something to deny. But even steel gets weary, even strong hearts bend, and no man was created to carry without end. A man needs grace too, not just expectations to survive, not just the weight of being strong to stay alive. A man needs grace too, and she can finally see that healing isn't weakness, it's humanity. Yeah, shoo-doo, I see you now. Don't know how, but I am, but it's alright. Notices the moments he almost lets it out, but pride steps in between them and turns it all around. Still she keeps on watching with compassion in her eyes, because love is not just fiction, it's learning to recognize. And maybe healing starts with just being seen and known, not always being the provider, but being human on your own. A man needs grace too, to lay the armor down, to breathe without the pressure of never breaking down. He looks calm, but calm is not always peace. Sometimes it's just the surface of a storm held carefully in place. She watches how he carries the weight behind his smile, how every conversation feels measured and compiled. He speaks in short responses, like words cost him too much, and silence fills the spaces where his truth won't quite touch. And she wonders what he hides behind that steady face, 'cause nothing about his quiet feels like resting place beneath the calm. There's a man she cannot reach, holding storms inside his chest. He never learned to speak beneath the calm. There's a pressure pulling through, and she can hear the breaking in the things he doesn't do. Yeah, shoot slow inside, nothing left to hide. Doesn't ask for comfort, he just keeps pressing through, like needing help would somehow make him less of what is true. But she can see the tension, even when he stands so tall, like he's been trained to answer life without ever dropping it at all. She wishes he could know strength was never meant to be a life of endless holding without emotional release beneath the calm. There's a soul he never shows, the man who keeps on moving while quietly letting go. And she wishes he could see he doesn't have to stay in silent heaviness to be free. Dior Amoria, she sees the truth. Should Lord break him through? She starts to understand something that love, real love, doesn't demand performance. It doesn't ask a man to prove he is worthy of it by how much he carries. She used to think love was earned through everything he could do, through strength and endless giving, through always pushing through. But now she sees it clearer in the silence he holds back, that love was never measuring how much a man can lack. Because love is not a contract built on pressure or disguise. It's seeing someone fully, even when they're not alright. Love doesn't ask for proof. It doesn't need him strong. It doesn't measure worth by how long he carries on. Love doesn't ask for proof. It just sees through the pain and stays when all the masks fall off and nothing feels the same. Shoo-doo, it stays. Shoo-doo, it stays. Even in his days. But I yet love don't leave. She watches how he softens when no one else is near. Like love becomes more honest when there's nobody to hear. And suddenly she realizes what he's never said before, that love is not performance, it's what you feel at the core. Maybe he was never failing. Maybe he was just alone, spaces where truth and fear collide. Love doesn't ask for proof, and now she understands. Even the strongest men need love that doesn't demand their Dior Amoria, love sees him whole. Dior Amoria, he can rest now. Dior Amoria, yeah, sure do. Love sees him whole. Love sees him whole. Love sees him whole. She sees it now. The quiet pressure behind his choices, the invisible standard he keeps trying to meet. Not for pride, but for survival. He wakes up every morning already behind somehow, like life is always asking for more than he knows how. And every step he's taken feels like catching up to time, while carrying expectations that were never really defined. And even when he wins things, it never feels like peace, because being enough keeps moving just beyond his reach. Still trying to be enough, but never feeling whole. A man who gives everything but loses pieces of his soul. Still trying to be enough, and she can see the strain in every quiet moment where he hides behind the pain. Yeah, shoo-doo-doo, never done. Still on the run, but I am trying to prove. She wonders when he learned it, that love must be deserved, that rest is something earned through how much you've overserved. But watching him unravel in the quiet of his face, she sees a man who's learning he was never in a race. And maybe healing starts with unlearning what you knew, that you are not your output, you are more than what you do. Still trying to be enough, but grace begins to show that even tired hearts deserve a place to just let go. Still trying to be enough, but maybe now he sees he doesn't have to earn what was always meant to be. Dior Amoria, he can rest now. Dior Amoria, yeah, shoo-doo, love sees him whole. She doesn't try to fix him anymore. She doesn't ask him to be stronger or louder or more than he already is. She just sees him now, fully. And somehow that changes everything. She watches him in silence, no longer chasing words, because everything he needed was never what he heard. He didn't need perfection or pressure to improve. He needed space to be a man without something to prove. And in that quiet moment, something shifts inside his frame, like being fully seen. Take some weight off of his name. She lets him be human, not a symbol, not a role, not the answer to survival, but a soul. She lets him be human, and the pressure starts to fall, like maybe he was never meant to carry it all. Yeah, should breathe again. No need to pretend, but it's okay now. She doesn't speak in judgment. She doesn't raise her tone, because she can see the battles he fought completely alone. And love begins to change now, not in words, but in the air, like something soft and holy is finally sitting there. Maybe healing isn't fixing, maybe it's just being seen, without the weight of strong or broken in between. Just a man, just a soul, learning slowly to let go. She lets him be human, lets him be human, and that is where he starts. Lets him be to understand strength can live without a guarded heart. She lets him be human, and something breaks in him too. Not pain, but all the silence. He never knew what to do. Yeah, shoot, it's alright. He can rest tonight, but even iron softens when it is finally seen. Even iron softens when it is finally seen.